Baris is put on the spot about his love life, social media erupts. Welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars, the corner of YouTube where we follow every whisper, every side eye, every sigh. If you love stories that stir the heart and light up the comments section, hit subscribe and stay close. Today, we're diving into a moment that jolted the entertainment scene. An interviewer looked straight at Baris and asked, with a smile that didn't soften the blow, "Are you a womanizer?" One sharp question, and the internet lost its breath. Fans froze. Critics sharpened their pens. In seconds, the topic was everywhere, from living rooms to late-night group chats. What made it even more intense was the setting. The interview wasn't stiff or staged, it felt intimate, like friends talking after a long day. Laughter, low voices, the kind of warmth that makes confessions feel easy. And maybe that's why the question landed like it did. Baris didn't dodge. He straightened in his chair, eyes thoughtful, the smile fading to something sincere. "I don't play games with hearts," he said, calm but firm. "I'm careful with people's feelings. That word womanizer doesn't fit me. No theatrics. No grand declarations. Just a measured, deliberate answer that sounded like a line he'd repeat even without cameras." Social media didn't wait for the full interview to finish. Tweets flew, stories popped, stitches multiplied. The hashtag Baris climbed the trending list with startling speed. Some posts read like love letters to his honesty. Others reminded the world that timelines exist and past headlines don't vanish. Within an hour, it felt like the country had split into two living rooms, one clapping for a gentleman, the other raising eyebrows and keeping receipts. And somewhere in the middle, a quiet group rewatched the clip, replaying his tone, searching for any hint of performance. Twitter was a theater of reactions. "A real gentleman never juggles hearts, he's not a womanizer," wrote one user, collecting hundreds of likes. Another quipped, "Let's not pretend the past is a dream we all forgot," nudging the conversation into playful but pointed territory. "He's always been kind and grounded," said a fan account that tracks his every interview, so of course he answered like this. There were threads that praised his composure, and threads that catalogued his rumored romances like a timeline exhibit. The platform felt like a debate hall draped in neon, each side convinced and unshakable. On Instagram and TikTok, the energy was different, warmer, faster, edited to music. Fan edits of Baris and Yagmar flooded reels, shimmering with soft filters and slow-motion glances. Captions read, "You don't call a man a flirt when he looks at his partner like this," and hearts poured in. But humor had its place too. Creative minds cut his answer into comedic skits, imagining the question dropping in the middle of a crowded cafe, or dubbing over the clip with exaggerated drama. Young audiences devoured it all. The short, punchy content kept the topic bouncing from For You pages to Explore feeds, where it kept catching, refusing to die down. The magazine world moved quickly, the conversation leaped from screens to headlines. Entertainment sites broke down the exchange frame by frame. Bloggers sifted through past interviews, linking old quotes with new context. Some columns honored his directness, "There's a steadiness in his tone that invites trust." Others maintained a cautious stance, "Straightforward words don't cancel complicated histories." The presence of Yagmar hovered over the discussion like a soft light. Elegant, composed, never disruptive. Commentators noted how their public image together had been defined by gentle affection and mutual respect, and how that image shaped this debate more than any rumor could. It didn't take long for content creators to roll out deep dives. They spliced together scenes from red carpets, interviews, and the fleeting glimpses fans cherish. Hands brushing in a corridor, a shared grin after a long day's work, moments from a set where a private joke seemed to pass between them. These creators layered his recent statement over those images, offering analysis, theory, and a touch of speculation. Views soared into the millions. Some said the clip strengthened his standing, that he leaned into the persona of a considerate, grounded man. Others argued it felt like calculated PR, a perfectly timed answer designed to cushion a long-running narrative. The comments formed a chorus of conflicting truths. "He's honest and open, he's not chasing hearts," wrote a follower with a highlight reel dedicated to Baris and Yagmar. "This is a clear, empathetic response." "Bravo," added another. The timeline on social media speaks for itself, someone countered. You don't erase history with a neat sentence. Another thread read, I believe him. He's consistent. He treats people with care. It was a tug-of-war between instinct and evidence, memory and feeling, all unfolding in real time. Meanwhile, casual viewers liked, scrolled, and moved on until the next clip pulled them back in. Of course, the critique didn't stop at Twitter. Instagram comments shifted between praise and skepticism. It's good he addressed it, wrote one user, but is this truly sincere? Another observed, the words are beautiful, but sincerity is something you feel, not something you declare. One voice threw down the gauntlet, this sounds like acting. Another shot back, everything he does is under a lens, how would sincerity even look to you? Some brought Yagmar into the discussion with protectiveness and grace, he should be judged by how he treats the woman he's with now. The way he looks at Yagmar says more than any statement ever could. Others warned against using her as a shield, respect her by not making her proof of anything. Journalists weighed in with measured language. Baris' frankness has a way of disarming people, wrote one. Whether or not you agree with the label, the manner of his reply invited calm. Another noted, the interview's friendly tone amplified the impact. He didn't posture. He breathed, answered, and let the room sit in it. A third column summarized the tenor of the week. Admiration and critique walked side by side. Across platforms, there was a sense that image alone couldn't carry this moment. People were listening for the small notes, the pauses, the intent, the history he didn't name but didn't deny. As days passed, the story refused to fade. Across TikTok, a stream of quick takes emerged, drawing connections between his words and public gestures that fans have traced for months. Edits spotlighted the understated ways he supports Yagmar. Stepping aside for her to speak, sharing the stage, never pulling focus when it belongs to her. Supporters insisted that the way he moves in her orbit contradicts the idea of a man collecting conquests. Skeptics replied that relationships can be both real and strategic, that celebrity romance can be sincere and still part of the machine. The conversation kept its rhythm, sometimes tender, sometimes barbed, always compelling. Then came the roundup videos, Baris Baktas breaks his silence. Thumbnails promised. The pushy question, are you a womanizer, had ignited the feeds, and people couldn't look away. Some think the answer was pure and unfiltered, a line in the sand drawn with care. Others think it's clever tabloid bait, crafted to feed the cycle while appearing above it. The truth, as always, seemed to live in the tension between those extremes. And through it all, one detail stood out, the way his name and Yagmar Yuxel's emerged together in almost every conversation. Supporters felt it as a reminder that his life has changed, critics saw it as a convenient shield. But regardless of which side you land on, you can't deny the stir it caused. So here we are, friends of the channel, after a week of trending tags, late-night debates, and endless edits. One question shook the table, and the echo still hasn't settled. Do you believe Baris Baktas is a smooth-talking heartbreaker, or a respectful man who knows how to care for the people in his life? Did his reply feel genuine, or too polished to trust? Let us know what you think below. Your voice shapes these conversations, and we read everything. If you enjoyed walking through the twists and turns of this story, tap like, subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars, and hit the bell so you never miss the next tremor in the world of fame and feeling. Until the next whisper reaches our door, take care and keep your eyes on the timeline, because this one isn't done yet.